Hey there, in this video, I wanted to talk about my horse Kensington and take you through a little bit of the journey of what it takes to develop a young horse up through the levels and towards the Grand Prix. If you're new here, hi, I'm Amelia. If you've been around for a while, then you know that I love riding, I love horses, and what I love more than anything is really taking a young horse and developing it up through the levels and teaching it all the movements, seeing the horse mature both physically and emotionally, and then really developing that bond and that connection with a horse, which I think is so special. And I wanted to make this video because you probably know that one of my big goals is I want to compete. I want to compete internationally. I want to be on a team one day. And the 2028 Olympics are going to be here in Los Angeles in 4 years, which is super exciting. As you know, horses are expensive and it takes a lot of time and commitment to train a horse up the levels. So if you're interested, if you wanted to be a part of the journey in whatever respect that might be, to see behind the scenes, to see a process of getting a young horse, training it up through the levels, being a part of that growth and that dream, and coming to the clinics and coming to the horse shows, please send me an email, Amelia@AmeliaNewcombDressage.com. There's a lot of different ways that you can be a part of the journey, even just like a tax-free one-time donation, or something as much as like, let's go to Europe together and look at young horses and select a young horse and then develop it together. Because I really believe that that is the best way to develop a Grand Prix partner. So Kensington is a horse that I got in Europe as a 5-year-old. And when he was 5, my first impression of him was like, wow, that's a really nice horse, which he was. And I rode him and he was so sweet and he was such a good boy. I remember I was in this indoor and it was like late at night. It was like dark and it started pouring and it was so loud in there, and he was such a good boy. He just stayed with me and he stayed calm. But when Kensington was 5 and I was looking at him, my biggest concern was that his canter was really big and really discombobulated, like very uncoordinated. And so I was like, gosh, I don't know, am I ever going to be able to collect that canter? And so I got Kensington home, and you know, it always takes a year. You get a young horse or a new horse, and it takes a year to really like develop that horse and to start to get a connection with a horse. So as I got to know Kensington a little bit more, he's the sweetest horse, but he's also like the shyest horse ever. Like, he's such an internalizer, and he's one of those horses, like, you know, some horses are kind of arrogant and pushy. Not Kensington. Like, you step towards him and he's like backing away. Not even that he's scared, but he's just super shy and super internalized. And so it took a long time to figure out like how to give him confidence when he would get scared of something, and I would try to apply aids, you know, like, hey, stay off my inside leg, look to the inside. Then he would think that he was in trouble, instead of like, no, you just need to follow my aids and follow my guidance. So that took a bit of time. And then the other thing is just figuring out how to manage his canter. Like, teaching Kensington the flying changes was really a struggle for him. At one point I thought I was going to have to give up and that he would like never learn to do the flying changes. But luckily I was training a lot with Johanneman, and he had me do just like a million, like walk and canter and walk and canter and walk and canter, and really getting his canter short and quick and short and quick and short and quick. And I'll put in some clips here of like his canter as a 5-year-old versus his canter now that he's an FEI horse. So that's definitely been a process to teach him that collection. But I'm super excited because Kensington is 9 this year. So I've been riding him for 4 years now, and he's really coming along. Like, all the movements for the Grand Prix are there. And I have such a nice partnership with him. I think he really trusts me, and I gotten to know him really well. And it's so cool to just see like what a 5-year-old does, what a 6-year-old does, what a 7-year-old does, what an 8-year-old does. And it is that slow journey. And I want you all to remember that training a young horse, developing a horse up through the levels, it is a long and a slow process. And it does take consistency and persistence and perseverance, and there's ups and downs. But it's so cool when you start to see all the pieces come together. So I hope that you've enjoyed some of these little clips of me training with Kensington. You've probably seen him in my videos and like everywhere because he's the most beautiful horse. He's our horse model of the barn. And then if you're interested, if it would be interesting to you to like be a little bit more of a part of the journey with a young horse, to help support a young horse, or to go to Europe and look for some young horses in any capacity, please send me an email. It's Amelia at amelianewcombdressage.com. And my vision would be to have several up and coming young horses that I can be developing and building up through the levels for a team. I think that would be an amazing experience. And it's always a little bit of a scary goal because we all know with horses, how much can go wrong, but it's also so special when you find a good horse, and then when you put the time and the consistency and the training into them, it's amazing to see them blossom and them change both physically and mentally, like Kensington has done. So thanks for watching this video. I hope it has inspired you in some capacity, either with your horse or to get a little bit more involved, and we will see you in the next video.